And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
How many times we see it? I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Play action. It's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds. And the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lawrence. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Give him 32 on the play. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. He targets Ingram for another grab. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence on the slant, complete to Hopkins. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Connor. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Jaguars will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in the 2020 draft out of Utah State. This is Jordan Love.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now a first carry here for their running back. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On play action. Love to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Trayvon Walker in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive, then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. He juked him. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. Lawrence on 3rd down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out in the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a 1st down.
On 1st and 10 is counter. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. He's got a man, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Defense.
So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
4 yards.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
From the 17, Lawrence. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. And the Jaguars are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
They run behind center with Conner. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Again, it'll be Conner. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Christian Kirk, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Play action this time with Love. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. On second down, they'll run it here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of run.
Oftentimes when you see running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Love looking to throw it. Going deep here for Watkins. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. Finds his tight end Ingram. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
To gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 38-yard line.
Lawrence will throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Jaguars on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not he came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. From the gun, a give to Connor. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From midfield now, Lawrence. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. They'll try and run forward with Connor. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him 2 on the play there, and it's good enough for a Jacksonville first.
You know I'm old school, so I always want a hammer in my backfield, but in short yardage situations, 3rd down pickups, I gotta have him, and he picked it up for him right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Lawrence. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing well physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
The kick by Lutz is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you
Now
just
you
called
can go.
I think you just called a desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Jordan Love ready on first down here. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Love. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
At the 34-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Love looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. To the air again, Love. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet inbounds.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
First down going to the air with Love. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
30, incomplete. Devin Boyd on the coverage defense.
The 2nd down throw for Love. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Sets up 4th down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now Lawrence on first down.
And the catch made by Hopkins.
And he's going to have a first down here. They're also in a field goal range now at the 27-yard line.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. The Packers trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we head to the Big Apple, more specifically to MetLife Stadium in Jersey, to check on the Giants. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. 2 touchdowns there for Saquon Barkley. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City, see what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Mike Evans, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. We continue on with the check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jags. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Taken at the goal line. Now a loose football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. And that has to be so frustrating because you know that they had something set up there for this first drive of the second half. It wasn't the fumble.
Sometimes no matter what you go over at halftime, no matter what you say, errors will result, and that's exactly what happened.
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. DeAndre Hopkins, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Jags are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they've built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs.
I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson.
And he will have a Vikings first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Love, they go play action now. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on third down. To throw now. Here's Love.
He'll get this to Nwangu. And he will have a Vikings first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Off the play fake, Love. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Again, it's Love.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Dancing to his left.
We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways They've gotten their receivers open so far. It's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. It completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going. Sometimes even before the ball snapped, and they're there and end up making the play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now Lutz for the field goal try. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. And remember, the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing. Love. And this is caught by Watkins. A good gain on first. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. 2 yards. Good enough for a first.
That's good for a Vikings first down.
Love looking to throw it. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
On first down, they'll go to the ground. And the ball is knocked out. And the Jags grab it. And they have possession. And they have it at the 38-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their 38. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence over the middle. That's caught by Ridley.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
They go play action now. Lawrence.
And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we play 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
3rd and 2, now Lawrence.
And able to find Kirk complete.
And he will have a Jaguars 1st down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
He's been the go-to guy, and they needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Connor up the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
A gain of a yard. 1st down, Jacksonville.
They'll try the left side with Connor. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Brought down at the 30-yard line. A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence.
That's going to be caught by Kirk.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
On the draw, Connor. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings' 13-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 8.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Love now. Complete. Jefferson the target. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Love. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Devon Hamilton. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Love under pressure, and they got to him again.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here's Jones. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line.
Holding offense.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play, move on.
Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. 2nd and 11 at the 41.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
Here's a handoff to Connor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for the Jaguars, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4-7. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.
We never had touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.